Okay, so as I said in class, I have taken a look at the quiz that you're going to have on Tuesday over sections 1.3, 0.4, 0.6, and then 2.1 and 2.2. And I've taken a look at some of the problems and created a nice video, and there will be a second video as well involving 6 problems that I think you should know in order to do well on the quiz. So let's start with the first one. And the first one has to do with simplifying. Alright, so simplify the following. It is 3x minus 4x squared minus 8x squared minus 6x. So of course we need to combine any like terms. So in this problem, let's start with the x squares. Remember that a like term has the same variable and same exponent. So this minus 4x squared and this minus 8x squared, they are like terms. So if we combine minus 4 and minus 8, we get minus 12. Notice that the x squared will not change, so it stays x squared. Okay, and we are not multiplying, we are simply combining like terms, and the exponents stay the same. And then we have the 3x and the minus 6x. They are also like terms. So if we do 3 minus 6, we will get negative 3. And again, the x doesn't change. And this is done because this has x squared, this has just x. So this is your final answer. Simplifying expressions, like terms. Okay? All right, the second one, the second and third one will both involve solving equations. So let me go back to my color. Okay, we'll get purple. All right, so number 2. Solve, and I'm going to do a couple more difficult equations in my view. 7 times x plus 2 equals 4 times 9 minus x. Okay, so there's our equation. Notice when you see the parentheses, you should look to distribute first, right? So in this problem, the 7 is going to go into the x and the 2. So we get 7 times x, which is 7x, and 7 times positive 2, which is positive 14. We do the same thing on the right side as well. The 4 goes into the 9 and the negative x. 4 times 9 is 36. And 4 times negative x is going to be a negative 4x. And now we have x's on both sides, so we should combine. Let's combine by adding 4x to both sides. When you add 4x to both sides, 7 plus 4 is 11x. Okay, like terms, they will combine. Bring down the plus 14, and that is going to equal 36. The 4x's cancel. Then we will get x by itself by doing 2 more steps, subtracting 14. 11x comes down, 14's cancel, and 36 minus 24 is, or minus 14 is 22, and we will divide by 11 to get the x completely alone, and our final answer will be x equals 2. Okay? So distribution, right? Distribution, the first step. Okay, let's move on to another problem. Same idea, solve. But this one's going to involve fractions. So we're going to solve. And the problem is 1/4 x plus 5/8 equals x minus 1/8. Okay? And remember that the technique I taught you guys was multiplying by the LCD. So we need to find the LCD. And again, remember, you look at the denominators, the 4, the 8, and the 8. And you say, what number can they both become through multiplication? So if we start with 8, again, that's 8, 16, 24. Okay? And then if we look at 4, that's 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And there we go. Boom. There's your LCD, 8. That is what we're going to take this entire equation and multiply by. Okay, so if I do that, let's come down below. When you distribute the 8 once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, okay, what's going to happen is the 8 goes to the numerator or the top only. So it's going to become 1 times 8, which is 8. And then the 4 stays the same. and the x comes. Then plus 5 times 8 is 40. And again, the 8 goes on the bottom. Equals x times 8 is 8x. And then this is going to be a minus, and then it's 1 times 8 up top, and that's 8. And the 8 on the bottom stays the same. So now we can simplify this. 8 divided by 4 is 2x, plus 40 divided by 8 is 5, equals 8x, minus an 8 divided by 8 is just 1. And now this is very similar to the problem we just did. We have to combine like terms by moving things to the other side. Let's move the 2x by subtracting it. And when you do that, the 2x's cancel. We get 5. Make that 5 better. 5 equals, this is 8 minus 2, which is 6x minus 1. Then we will add 1 to both sides. I'll bring it up over here. So this becomes 6 equals 6x. The 1's cancel on the right side. And then we divide by 6 to get x all by itself. 6 divided by 6 is 1. And there's your value of x. Okay, so solving equations, these were the tougher ones. Distribution, and then the LCD idea when you have a lot of fractions. And then one more problem before this video ends. We're going to do a word problem. Okay, there will be word problems on your test, so make sure you feel comfortable with them. Practice. So word problem. This problem can be found on page 30 in your textbook. Okay, it is the 2 summer jobs problem. So we have 2 summer jobs. Okay, job 1. You work, you make $9 an hour, and you worked for 18 hours. Job 2. You make $8 an hour, and you don't know how many hours you work. You can work as many as you want. You want a total of $250. So the question is, how many hours must you work? Okay, that's the question. How many hours? So that's the question. So of course, we need to identify what x is. And x is our question mark. Number of hours at our second job, job 2. So how does money work? Well, you take your wage, or the amount you make per hour, and you multiply by the number of hours. So in your first job, $9 an hour, and you work 18 hours. Add that to your second job. In your second job, you work you make $8 an hour, and you don't know how many hours you work. You got to figure that out. So that's where your x comes into play. And this should equal the amount you want to make at the end of the week, $250. So the first thing I would do is multiply. You might need a calculator for this. That's okay. 9 times 8 is 162. So we have 162 plus 8x equals 250. And now we just solve for x. Subtract 162 from both sides. We get 8x equals. This will simplify to 88. And we divide by 8. And you get x equals 11. So x was the number of hours, so you should work 11 hours at job 2. Okay, so this is the end of video 1. Please stay tuned for video 2.